It's great though when you run into someone, and I assume you a believer like this, where you don't even have to barely say what you want, and he kind of knows what you're going for. That's the best.
No, the best is when you've been with someone as long as me and Ops have been, and you think you know, you're totally in tune with them as an artist, and you write it for them, and they come back with something like 40% better than what was in your head, and what was in your head was really awesome. I've been getting a lot of that lately, not to be bragging. I mean, it's more of good news for you guys, but I've been getting a lot of stuff that is very, very good. It's almost an embarrassment of riches in a good way. There's something going on with all the Avengers artists, I feel, that they're all kind of competing with each other in a friendly way. But I feel Stewart's trying to kick John Jr.'s ass. Yeah, and everyone's trying to kick each other's ass, and you all win. That's all I think.
Still really like the Marvel writers, because they're doing a lot of movies, you know, they've been consulted, you know, the writers.
About the Marvel movies? Well, I'm actually, not to be braggy, I'm actually on the creative committee for the Marvel movies, which means that you get to see my name in the credits in Iron Man 2 well after the drivers and the caterers. So, no, it's very cool, you know, that it started years ago. They would slowly have us in. There used to be a wall of comic book nerds and real filmmakers, you know, and that wall kind of came down over the last 10 years, like in a big way. Frank Miller had a lot of help to do with that, and Mike Mignola did. And the filmmakers, we all started becoming like the same age, you know, and the filmmakers of power were comic book nerds and realized, well, instead of hiring someone to imitate them, let's just go talk to them. So, and Marvel, too, realized that before anybody, that, you know, they had to come in and consult on Spider-Man 1, and that was like in the earliest days of Marvel, and it was crazy. And then all of a sudden for Iron Man 1, when Marvel's first movie they're making themselves, we get the call they want to put together an Iron Man brain trust, that's what they called it at the time. And they flew us all out to Howard Hughes's airfield and put us up in the thing. We sat around, you see it on the Iron Man DVD, we sat around this big table and talked to Talking Nerds a couple of weeks before filming started, and really gave him the what for. He said, don't tell me what's good about the script, tell me what's wrong with it. I don't need, you know, I got my mom to tell me I'm awesome, let me have it, man. And we did, we let him have it about whatever our particular thing is, and he would get like my point of view and Mark Millar's point of view and Tom Brewer's point of view and all around the room, and everyone's point of view is very different. So he would take what he thought was good advice for him. And then last year I got offered to be part of the creative committee, which they've taken the brain trust and morphed it into this this thing that the filmmakers at Marvel have to deal with, which is us as a group letting you know what we think. And all the filmmakers who sign on to make movies at Marvel are made aware that part of the job is you'll have full access to the nerd club, which is, you know, good news. And on the other hand, Marvel gets wide open eyes. We're going to read the script. With, you know, I don't know anything that's going on outside the script. I don't know casting. I don't know who wants what. I don't know who's fighting over what. They just show me the script, and I let them know what I think of it. We just had a huge 3.5-hour Captain America meeting on Monday. It was so much fun. For me, it's a blast because it's as close as I get to a writing class outside of the class I actually teach. It's literally a lot of smart people talking story and picking story apart, and then I get to take whatever I've learned and put it right back into my work. It's actually this awesome job. At the same time, yeah, it's wonderful to be happy to be part of it. To watch and also to watch the films more from the earliest outline to the full-blown Iron Man 2, and now in Thor, right in the middle of Thor and Captain America. But you know, the greatest days is like they fly us all to LA and we sit in a room with Kenneth Branagh for 8 hours and we acted out the Thor movie. So cool because he's a Shakespearean actor. Yeah. And we're all like blown away. And it was funny is that like he'll say an idea and it's Shakespearean and Thor comes down with his mighty hammer and more like that. And then me and Joe Quesada have something to say. He's got his Jersey accent. And I got my Cleveland accent. We sound like you know, it doesn't sound as good. So it's a blast. And if anything, I think for you guys, it just shows the guys behind the scenes at Marvel really caring a lot about continuity in the product and the characters and making sure it isn't just one guy running away with it, doing whatever they want, you know. So yeah, so it's cool, man. It's really cool. And I think Thor is going to be. I'm pretty excited about Thor. Pretty excited.
So, Ultimate Spider-Man, I've read that book since the very beginning.
Thank you.
I love that book. It got me into the whole Ultimate Universe.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. I feel a butt coming.
There is a big butt in that universe. Ultimatum. Yes.
Oh yeah.
What is your opinion on that whole event?
Well, see, I have a different opinion. First of all, Jeff Loeb's a good friend, and a good friend of Jeff, and behind the scenes, probably one of the most giving cheerleader guys you could hope for. Really a giver, unbelievable. I know what the opinion of some people on things like Ultimatum are, because they have the same opinion about House of M and things like that. So I understand it. I also understand that what he created was a disaster movie where nobody lived at the end, and it's almost like superhero torture porn or something. It's just like, and though I understand that's not for everybody, I would like to live in a world where that can't exist and doesn't. So see right there. So I'll tell you though that I know that Ultimatum was a means to an end, and the end was Ultimate X, the new Ultimates or new Avengers or whatever they're calling it. But both those books, and particularly Ultimate X, was the story that Jeff Loeb has been dying to tell, and he had to get there to get to here. And if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's Art Adams. It's gorgeous. It's Jeff back to what I find to be his strengths, which is iconic distillation of characters in a scene, and I think it's wonderful.
He's not afraid to take. There's always this time as a creator, to tell a certain kind of story, you've got to take some heat. And I'll give it to him. He is not afraid to get out there and let people just shoot flaming arrows at him. You know, I don't know many people who are willing to rush out and just take it on the chin like that.
He's also willing to write the Hulk, and then when you look at it, you go, yeah, that's all the Hulk should be. That's all the Hulk should be. It's the Hulk going, ah! That's it. And so though I would never have written it that way, I appreciate that he realizes that if you have exclamation points, that's the place to use them. You know, so there you go. So I understand, but you'll notice all my characters survived.
You got a lot more characters.
My book survived, and also while he's telling this, this is what I do, and we all do this when we go to the retreats. Whether I'm pitching Secret Invasion or blah blah blah, we're all listening to it, and what we're really thinking is, what do I get out of this? What do I get to make my book? Does my book look cooler because of this? And I did want to do Aunt May's house full of wayward superhero teens, and this made it. Now I can do it. Now I can jump ahead 6 months and have it. So I was very excited about Ultimatum. I was getting everything I see. You know what I mean? And also I got to do the scene I always wanted to do. And this is the most selfish, writer's thing I'll ever tell you. This is where the shared universe of superheroes becomes awesome. You get. I knew the Ultimatum tidal wave was coming. So I got to write a scene where the cops arrest Aunt May, throw her in the box, and start grilling her to the point where she's just about to break tidal wave. Now, if I just wrote tidal wave myself, that's the worst written thing you've ever seen. But Jeff wrote the tidal wave. Not my fault, tidal wave. So any other storytelling in the world, you would do this? You're in Roland Emmerich bullshit mode, but I got to get away with it. So I got a lot out of Ultimatum that And I also think, not to be Mr. Positive, but the best piece of art Stuart Immonen ever has drawn so far is in Ultimate Spider-Man. It's a double-page spread of Jonah looking up at Spider-Man right outside his window, saving someone in what looks like a fish tank. You know, that was, I imagined it, and it happened exactly what was in my head. It was on the page, and it was almost startling how close it was, and the fact that we were able to find each other on that page was really great. So,
pull off some hard stuff.
Yes, and it's a very